You think you know boxing punches? Let me tell you something. There's a reason Mike Tyson knocked out 44 of his 50 opponents, and it wasn't just raw power. Today, we're breaking down every devastating punch that turns regular fighters into champions. From the knockout artists to the technical masters, these are the weapons that define the sweet science. Number 7. Body shots, the silent killers. Let's start with the punch nobody sees on highlight reels, but every fighter fears. Body shots. These bad boys are the investment punches, the ones that pay dividends in later rounds when your opponent suddenly can't lift their arms anymore. Body punches are like compound interest. They don't look sexy at first, but man, do they add up. Body punching is a science by itself, and at high-level competition, knocking people out with headshots isn't always possible. That's why legends like Mike Tyson made body punching an art form. During his prime, especially when Cus D'Amato was by his side, Tyson was a devastating body puncher whose arsenal worked in complete synergy with his peekaboo movement. Here's the thing about body shots. They're the great equalizer. You can't condition your liver or solar plexus the way you can strengthen your chin. Once that liver shot lands clean, it doesn't matter if you're built like a Greek god or if you've never been knocked down. You're going down, and you're staying down. Ask any fighter who's eaten a perfect liver shot, and they'll tell you it feels like someone pulled the plug on your entire electrical system. The beauty of body punching is the psychological warfare. After a few rounds of having your ribs tenderized, fighters start dropping their guard unconsciously. They're not thinking about it, their body just naturally wants to protect those damaged areas. And boom, that's when the head becomes a buffet. It's like a twisted game of whack-a-mole where protecting one area exposes another. Remember Roberto Duran? Early in his career, Roberto was a ferocious brawling slugger who overwhelmed his opposition with his strength, determination, body punching, and a strong right hand. His philosophy was simple: break the body and the head will follow. And it worked. Fighters would literally quit mid-fight because they couldn't handle the sustained body assault. That's not just winning, that's breaking someone's will to fight. Love boxing? So do we. Join. Like this video and join our growing community to learn more about your favorite sport. Number 6. The lead uppercut, the guard breaker. Now we're getting into the fun stuff. The lead uppercut, punch number 5 in the traditional boxing system. This powerful blow is best used at close range, with its upward trajectory making blocking techniques more difficult. This is the punch that makes tall fighters regret having long torsos. The punch begins by bending the knees and dropping into a 3/4 quadriceps. It's like doing a one-legged squat that ends with someone's lights going out. What makes the lead uppercut so nasty? It comes from the angle nobody expects. Most fighters are programmed to defend against straight punches and hooks coming from the sides, but this sneaky devil splits the difference. It comes up through the middle like a submarine-launched missile, and here's the kicker. It's thrown with your lead hand, which means it's closer to your opponent and arrives faster than they anticipate. The lead uppercut is particularly devastating against fighters who like to lean forward or duck down. You know those guys who think they're being defensive by tucking their chin and crouching? Yeah, they're basically gift wrapping their jaw for this punch. Joe Frazier made a career out of this punch, using it to lift opponents off their feet. Literally. His lead uppercut against Muhammad Ali in their first fight is still studied in boxing gyms today. Fun fact, the lead uppercut is one of the hardest punches to see coming when thrown correctly. From the guard, the lead hand drops about 1 foot to waistline height, forming a 90-degree angle at the elbow, and as the boxer explodes upwards, the punch travels in a vertical path. By the time your opponent realizes what's happening, they're already looking at the arena lights. Number 5. The rear uppercut, the finisher. If the lead uppercut is the setup, the rear uppercut is the grand finale. The rear uppercut is the best weapon in your arsenal, especially effective at close range where opponents are unable to predict the hand that is hidden beneath their defense. This is Mike Tyson's bread and butter right here. Among Tyson's signature moves was a right hook to his opponent's body, followed by a right uppercut to his opponent's chin. Lorenzo Boyd, Jesse Ferguson, and Jose Ribalta were each knocked down by this combination. When Tyson threw that rear uppercut, it wasn't just a punch, it was an extinction event. Tyson's explosive punching technique was due in large part to crouching immediately prior to throwing the uppercut, which allowed the spring of his legs to add power to the punch. Its physics meets violence, and the result is spectacular. The power generation is insane. You're essentially using your entire frame like a catapult, with your fist as the payload. What makes the rear uppercut so special is that it's thrown with your power hand from a loaded position. You've got your whole body weight shifting behind it, your hips are rotating, your shoulders driving through. Every muscle in your body decided to throw a party, and your opponent's chin is the piñata. The psychological impact of a good rear uppercut can't be overstated. Once a fighter gets caught with one clean, they become gun-shy about coming inside. They start fighting tentatively, staying at range, which completely changes the dynamic of the fight. It's like having a do not enter sign hanging around your personal space. Number 4, the lead hook, the surprise party. Coming in at number 4, we've got the lead hook, the punch that nobody sees coming until it's too late. The lead hook is a formidable weapon best suited for engagements at medium to close range, drawing strength from your torso and legs. This is the thinking fighter's punch. It's difficult to get the hang of this powerful blow because it comes from your weaker hand, requiring consistent practice to internalize the technique. But once you've got it down, money in the bank. The lead hook is all about angles and timing. It comes in from a 90-degree angle with a bent arm, and the power is generated by the rotation of the core and back. You're not just throwing your arm out there, you're turning your entire structure into a whip with your fist as the tip. Sugar Ray Robinson, arguably the greatest pound-for-pound fighter ever, had a lead hook that was pure poetry in motion. He'd set up with a jab, get you thinking linear, then bam, that hook would come around your guard like it had GPS navigation. The way he threw it was so smooth, opponents often didn't realize they'd been hit until they were picking themselves up off the canvas. What makes the lead hook particularly effective is its versatility. You can snap it to the head, dig it to the body, use it as a counter when your opponent throws their right hand. It's the Swiss Army knife of punches. Plus, your lead hook is a safer option because it leaves you less exposed and can be thrown quicker than the rear hook. Number 3. The rear hook, overhand right, the sledgehammer. Number 3 on our countdown, the rear hook, also known as the overhand right when it comes over the top. This is the punch that ends conversations and starts highlight reels. Even though it travels a shorter distance than the lead hook, the rear hook proves to be your most powerful tool, particularly effective in close quarters combat. The rear hook generates more power but leaves the body more rotated and open for counterpunches. It's a high-risk, high-reward investment. You're basically betting your defensive position that this punch is going to do serious damage, and most of the time, if it lands clean, you win that bet. Think about Rocky Marciano's Suzy Q, that overhand right that sent heavyweight after heavyweight to the canvas. He didn't have the prettiest technique, but when that right hand landed, it was like getting hit by a freight train. Marciano understood something fundamental about this punch. Sometimes raw power trumps perfect technique. The rear hook works because it attacks from an unexpected angle. While your opponent is worried about straight punches and lead hooks, this thunderbolt loops around their guard like a heat-seeking missile. It's particularly effective against orthodox fighters when you're fighting southpaw, or vice versa, because it travels through their blind spot. Modern example? Deontay Wilder's right hand. That man throws his rear hook like he's trying to punch through dimensions. It doesn't matter if you block it. The sheer force can knock you off balance. Wilder has knocked out guys who were winning every round up until that one punch landed. That's the equalizer effect of a good rear hook. Number 2. The cross straight right, the power shot. The silver medal goes to the cross. Punch number 2 in the system and the most fundamental power punch in boxing. The cross is the first and most obvious knockout punch, and for good reason. The cross starts from the rear and has more time to accelerate, involving more of a whole body movement, making it a seriously powerful punch that can damage your opponent. This is your howitzer, your cannon, your delete button for consciousness. When throwing the cross, you rotate your feet, fire your hips, and snap your shoulder through the target, transferring all your weight forward so every bit of your body is behind that punch. It's like your entire skeletal structure is conspiring to deliver maximum violence through a single point of impact. The cross is beautiful in its simplicity. It travels the shortest distance between 2 points, a straight line from your shoulder to your opponent's face. There's no wasted motion, no telegraphing if thrown correctly, just pure ballistic efficiency. As Mike Tyson himself revealed, it wasn't my punching power, it was the accuracy. I was fast, so I got the punches there before the hard punchers got there. What makes the cross so effective is its versatility in combination. The cross jab, or 1-2, is the most basic combination and also the most effective. The jab is used to get the opponent to react, and the cross shoots right through. It's like the foundation of boxing. Simple, reliable, and it never goes out of style. Thomas Hitman Hearns had a right cross that was basically a laser beam of destruction. His reach advantage combined with his snapping technique meant opponents often didn't see it coming until they were horizontal. Leonard, Duran, Cuevas, all of them felt the thunder of that right hand. Number 1, the jab, the king of punches. I know what you're thinking. Really? The jab? That little pity-pat punch? Listen here, young grasshopper. The jab is the most important punch in boxing. Period. End of discussion. If boxing punches were a government, the jab would be the president, Congress, and Supreme Court all rolled into one. The jab is meant to be more of a rapid movement than a powerful one, but don't let that fool you. This punch does everything. It measures distance, sets up combinations, disrupts your opponent's rhythm, keeps them defensive, scores points, and can even knock someone out if you've got a piston for a left hand like Sonny Liston or Larry Holmes. The jab is your GPS system in the ring. Without it, you're just swinging blind. It tells you exactly how far away your opponent is, whether they're moving in or out, and what openings are available. It's reconnaissance and artillery all in one. As the old boxing saying goes, the jab is the key that unlocks everything else. Larry Holmes had arguably the greatest jab in heavyweight history. That thing wasn't just a punch, it was a battering ram disguised as a rangefinder. He could snap your head back, bloody your nose, and set up his right hand all in one motion. Holmes once said his jab was better than most fighters' power punches, and watching his fights, you'd believe it. Think about Muhammad Ali's jab. It wasn't just a punch, it was psychological warfare. He'd pop you with it, dance away, pop you again, make you chase him. Pop, pop, pop. By round 6, opponents were so frustrated they'd abandon their game plan entirely. That's not just boxing, that's chess with gloves. The beauty of the jab is its efficiency. You can throw dozens of them without getting tired. Try throwing 50 rear uppercuts in a row. You'll be gasping, but 50 jabs? That's just warming up. It's the only punch you can spam without consequence, and in boxing, volume matters. Modern fighters like Gervonta Davis and Terrence Crawford have elevated the jab to an art form. They use it like a conductor uses a baton, precise, consistent, and always on time. Crawford's jab doesn't just set up his offense, it is his offense. He'll jab you into submission before you even realize you're losing the fight. Here's the truth bomb. Every single legendary combination in boxing starts with or includes a jab. Every single one. You literally cannot be a complete boxer without a world-class jab. It's the punctuation mark, the comma, the exclamation point of your boxing vocabulary. So there you have it, fight fans. Every effective boxing punch explained, from the body shots that break spirits to the jab that rules them all. Remember, it's not about throwing the hardest punch, it's about throwing the right punch at the right time. Mike Tyson had it right when he said the punch that knocks you out is the one you don't see coming. These aren't just techniques, they're the tools that separate pretenders from champions. Whether you're hitting the heavy bag or just appreciate the sweet science, now you know what makes these punches legendary. Want more breakdowns of boxing's greatest techniques and fighters? Then smash that subscribe button harder than Foreman hit Frazier. Ring that notification bell like you're starting round 1 and drop a comment about which punch you think is most devastating. Until next time, keep your hands up and your chin down.